Well, welcome everybody to the Zoom In with Daniel Root for November 19th, 2024. And I don't have any announcements today, so we're just going to open this up and let me stop sharing so we can see each other. And hopefully this is recording the videos properly. The last episode that we did, only one person who was speaking at a time was being recorded. And I don't know how the setting changed, but I'm thinking that at this moment I have the setting corrected. So, but if this video doesn't get uploaded, it's because Zoom did it to me again. With that said, so does anybody want to start off? I think Anna, you've got something you'd like to ask.
Well, I have four questions, so I don't want to hog the night
Oh,
tonight.
please,
So,
please do.
okay. All right. So, hello everybody. I'm Anna. I'm on day 5 of the detox. It's super easy to follow, but really detailed. I'm really impressed. Very, very impressed. If anyone isn't doing it, I would suggest it. But I have a few questions. The first one is, I'm going to need some recipes. Some of this stuff, I'm not digesting that lecithin and oils. I'm like the whole time. And the zeolite is gross. It's gross. It's really gross. You did not warn me about how gross it was going to be.
It's just
I've
volcanic
never,
ash.
oh, it is, I'm gagging for 24 hours straight and all this stuff. So, what can I put it in and what can't I put it in? I'm assuming coffee is going to be too hot. Like where can I go with this here?
All right, so the oils in lecithin, actually the oils in general were usually or originally recommended to be added to like salads and things like that. So
Right.
salad
Yeah.
dressing. I don't recall you saying that the oils are all that bad, but let me just say we know for sure things like cranberry juice or pomegranate or lemon or orange
Mm-hmm.
juice are good for flavoring, and that can hold true for the lecithin as well as the zeolite.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to upset the mechanisms of action that they use to work. So. But yeah, they could be a little bit off-putting, I know. And are you using the granular form of the
Yeah, that's
lecithin?
what came in the package. Yeah.
Right, right. So I
Mhm.
just off the top of my head, I couldn't remember. But did I tell you about the milk frother? to
Yeah,
to
I have a turbo milk frother. I'm doing
okay.
everything. I'm just shooting it down and it's fine. The first few days I was kind of gagging it up, but I'm fine right now. I've moved past it. But it does sit in my stomach. Like it cracks me up. You said, how much hydration do you do on the first day of sauna? And I'm like, none. I'm still gagging that stuff. It's terrible.
All right. So another thing too is the lecithin is an emulsifier that's supposed to help break down those oils. You're not going to like to
Mhm.
hear this, but you can increase the lecithin. At the moment, you're probably taking 2,400 milligrams of using the scoop, and you can add a half scoop more for 36
Okay.
milligrams. That will help break down the oils for digestion. The other thing too is, are you doing the evening primrose oil at the same time you're taking the lecithin and oils?
No, should I be?
Well, I would recommend you do. It's supposed to be taken in 2 doses if you're using the kit form, and it's supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
done in the morning with the meal or with food or whatever,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and one in the afternoon, ideally with lunch. So
Uh-huh.
it works best with food, but the eating primrose oil is also an emulsifier, and it
Okay.
actually improves the body's ability to digest the oils. So those are a couple of things that I can suggest for you. But yeah, we know what
Suck it up
it's
and go
like.
forward. Okay. All right. So then my next question is I am now seeing the zeolite in my stool. Could that mean I'm doing too much and I should back off? Which would be
No,
the
that's
right
that's what you want to see.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's the mechanism of elimination. So yeah, the fact that you're seeing the zeolite in the stool is a good sign. By the way, since activated charcoal is involved with the protocol, you'll probably notice that the stools are darker than normal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and we're supposed to be doing 3 activated charcoals. Is that correct?
If you're using the Takasumi activated bamboo charcoals, that's the serving size. Yes.
Okay. Okay. My next question is each day, nothing has changed, even with my cycle or anything, but I'm gaining a lot of weight, about a pound and a half a day. Is that normal?
A lot of that is water weight gain, and sometimes it is actual retention of the oils. In fact, that kind of tells me you should be taking more lecithin as well as making sure you're doing the evening primrose oil. But
Okay.
mostly it's water weight gain, and the weight will fluctuate on this protocol. So don't get hung up on the numbers. Usually the weight will fluctuate up and down during a 30-day program. And after you've detoxed, your fat cells that have been sitting stagnant, that stubborn weight is going to
Mm-hmm.
start to burn off too because it's able to now participate, if you will, in the production of ATP energy. So
Mm-hmm.
don't worry about the weight fluctuations right now. I mean, if they get out of hand, let me know. You are a coaching client, so let me
Mm-hmm.
know if it's getting out of hand, and that's like several pounds beyond normal. But just for the most part, it's usually water weight gain. And you haven't mentioned yet how much water you're drinking, except you did say that not a whole lot. So that tells me the oils.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
but but
All right. And the last problem I have, and then I will not talk anymore for everyone who wants to go to bed, is not necessarily problem. You're not going to like it though. My husband got a free trip to Hawaii, and so I'm not going to turn down a free trip. So I need to cut it short. I need to cut my trip or my detox short. So can I just go gangbusters and then titrate down on the niacin at the end of my? It's going to be 23 days instead of 30.
that's actually pretty good. So you're going to go 21 full days on a 21-day version, and then
Mm-hmm.
taper down on the last 3 days. So yeah,
Okay.
just keep doing what you're doing. We'll just cut it from a 30 down to a 21-day, but you'll have those extra few days to actually continue with sauna. And I would recommend the other things too. I know you want to get off of, but
Okay. And then since I didn't go the full 30, I'd like to go 30 in January then. So it'll be just about 30 days. Would that be permissible or no?
oh no,
Like
it's
is 30
perfectly
days
fine.
enough time of a break is what I'm asking, I guess.
More than enough, yeah. Now, the original book, I did talk about 30 to 45 days,
Mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm.
literally you only need 2 weeks. It's the first week resets the niacin back to zero so you can start over again. And in
Okay.
those 2 weeks, your body returns homeostasis. In fact, most people won't even notice any wins or gains or benefits until they, come off the program and go through those 2 weeks of a minimum 2 weeks of break. So yeah, the 30-day break is perfectly fine.
Okay. Okay. Thank you everybody for listening.
No worries. I did want to mention one thing too, because the more I'm thinking about the water situation and the weight gain, it is recommended actually to increase the oils at least by 1 tablespoon. I know you don't want to hear that, but the cranberry juice makes a huge difference for
Uh-huh.
flavoring. But you
Well, I'm
should.
doing 4 caps of oil. You think I should be doing more?
Did you say caps? Are you using the? If I'm not
With
mistaken, you're not with the kit, right?
no, I'm using the kit.
Okay, so capfuls is what you said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying capsules. Like,
No, no
no.
cap.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I don't know that a capful is a tablespoon. I've never measured that, but you're supposed to be taking, and we don't need to talk about your weight or anything like that. But uh,
Hmm.
and I don't memorize these things, but I believe 4 tablespoons is what you're supposed to be taking, right?
Okay. I thought it was capfuls, but tablespoons is it's probably about relatively about the same. But yeah. All
Okay.
right, I'll look again. So 4 tablespoons.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay. All right.
If I can chime in for just
Sure.
a second,
Ken?
we use a little shot glass to measure our oils,
Uh-huh.
and the capful is not enough. The capful is only a little over a teaspoon, if I'm remembering correctly. So
Oh
if you
my
measure it,
God.
and the cap might be different on the bottle that we got versus you got, but they're
It should be.
probably similar. But it takes like 3 capfuls to equal the tablespoon.
So I have to be doing 3 times what I'm taking, or 4 times what I'm taking, 3 times what I'm taking.
Well, I would measure it to make sure. But if you get just one of the little glass shot glasses that has teaspoons and tablespoon markings on it, so a full shot glass is 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
So you need a half a shot glass, but I don't think the capful is going to be that much. So I think that might be why you're having struggles is that you actually do need more of the oil.
I agree with that totally.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't know who invited you in
I'm no
here, Ken.
expert, but
I don't know.
I'm no expert, but I've done this a couple of times, and it's weird because I don't have too much of a problem with the oil, but my wife had a lot more problems with it, and she did actually use it. She'd put it on salads and stuff to try to dilute it, but it's still I just prefer to just gag it down.
Yeah.
Okay. All
And
right.
let me give
Okay.
you another tip with that too. And I use Dixie cups instead of shot glasses, but and I use a tablespoon to measure. But let me
Mhm.
just say, when I use a Dixie cup, there's enough room left over to add a shot of cranberry juice, and it falls to the bottom. The cranberry juice gets to the bottom of the cup, so when you shoot it back, the cranberry's last, or the next thing or last thing that hits the tongue. So the oils go down, and then you get the cranberry taste, and it offsets that oil. So that's why
Okay.
we use that.
All right. Okay.
Well, it's
Thank
also
you,
going to
everybody.
cleanse your palate too, because the oil has a tendency to stick to your mouth and tongue, and the cranberry is enough acidic that it would wash that out good. So I'll have to try that. Uh,
Yeah.
I would think that pomegranate juice or any one of those would be good.
Yeah, lemon or orange. Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right. Does anybody else have any questions? Sheila, you're new to this, and our Zoom in meetings are really a fireside chat. So, you're welcome to chime in and ask away. Being a new person, you probably have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I feel like I'm so new that I don't even know what to ask. But I am kind of interested in a little bit of information, unless this isn't the right forum for that, in the modified. Okay, so I think I was on the Facebook group and saw something in the files about doing like niacin and infrared sauna.
Called
Not not
the niacin flush sauna detox. That's the one.
Yes.
Yes, and
Yeah, like when you can
that's
sort of like do it whenever you want,
right.
kind of thing. The reason I'm asking is just for myself, obviously for one, because I have a sauna, but also because I'm a myofascial release therapist, and so my clients are often interested in detox and whatever.
Mhm.
And because I have a sauna and I have it available for them to use, I just wondered if there was value in me sort of offering this as another service, so to speak, that if they wanted to try the niacin flush and then get in the sauna kind of thing, if there's value in that, if it's like a weekly appointment, let's say, or does it need to be done more often than that to have an impact, or what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a wonderful idea. In fact, the niacin flush sauna detox was originated for firefighters because there's no way an active duty firefighter is ever going to be able to commit to a 30-day program at 2 hours a day and time the niacin appropriately for the full detoxination protocol. So the niacin flush sauna detox allows them to use the saunas that are now showing up in firehouses, or they buy their own, so that they can get into the sauna while flushing or immediately after a flush and take advantage of the flushability. The vasodilation is pushing bloodborne toxins out to the skin or dermal layers so that they can be sweated out. Have you ever learned about the mechanism of action for the rebound lipolysis or any of that? Is that new to you?
Yeah, I'd never had before, no, but I'm just learning it now, obviously. Yeah.
Okay, so you've watched maybe one of the 48-minute video on the.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. There is a companion video to that, by the way, a part two that is a deeper dive into detoxination. I also strongly recommend you watch that. But
Okay.
the one you watched is great. It gives me an idea of where your knowledge level is right now. So if you wanted to offer something like that, I think that's a wonderful idea for no commitment type of thing. I also do have a detoxination training program that you might be interested in, because you can learn how to deliver the protocol correctly with all kinds of different conditions that we face. This protocol is not just for health and wellness, as far as like maintaining your health and wellness. This is actually being used to reverse conditions, and you'll learn more about that in the part two video I just mentioned. But in order to handle various different conditions, you have to know how to modify the protocol, and there are specific conditions that require specific tailoring, and I teach you how to do those. So that's something you might be interested in learning more about. And in fact, I do offer you a complimentary consultation that you're welcome to schedule at heal.me/detox. So that's posted all over the place, but especially on the website, you'll be able to book that appointment. But as far as just using the niacin flush sauna detox, yeah, read the document through and you'll find that it is just as simple as it sounds. You're giving people niacin and having them sit in the sauna while they're either flushing or immediately after a flush. Some people can't tolerate the heat of the sauna when the flushes also increase the heat of the body, because when you get a lot more red blood cells flowing out to the skin layers, it produces heat. And in fact, as a side note, that heat causes the pores to open and release the heat to the atmosphere, which results in a thermal exchange that can cause chills. It's kind of a weird feeling, but it doesn't necessarily happen during the time of the flush. It can happen long after you finished with the sauna. But be aware that that is a side effect. And so some people can't stand to be in the sauna during that flush because of the heat. And so it might be better for them to wait, and maybe preheat the sauna during that waiting period. The flush is usually a 45-minute thing, although it's unpredictable. And I've seen flushes last for, 3 hours or more. I've seen flushes not even turn on for maybe a few hours. And you never know if you're going to actually get one. So it's a case of hit or miss with that one. But having your sauna there for people to use is a great idea.
Okay, yeah, it's good to know that they could time it to be after, because I've done niacin and gotten in my sauna, and I'm okay with it. But like you said, I know some people would be like, this is way too much. So that's good to know we could do it after. Okay.
Yeah, and that gives you time to preheat the sauna too. So, but if you would like to schedule a complimentary consultation, look forward to meeting with you offline
Okay.
here.
All right. Thanks.
You're welcome. Does anybody else want to chime in?
Actually, if nobody else has anything pressing, I haven't seen too much because I haven't been around long enough. But one of my personal issues is chronic inflammatory response syndrome, or like mold or biotoxin illness. Have you dealt with many patients that deal with mold problems?
Absolutely. Mold mycotoxins are fat soluble, so they do wind up storing in adipose tissues, which is what we're acting on mostly. So our protocol deals with mold easily. In fact, you'd be amazed how many conditions this protocol can reverse or deal with, including opportunistic pathogens like Lyme, SIBO or SIBO, Candida overgrowth, even EBV has been, Epstein-Barr virus has been reversed as far as the symptoms go with that one. But the thing is that it's not that we're detoxing these things. We are taking away their food or fuel sources. A lot of these things are feeding off of heavy metals in the body. So if you detox the body, and by the way, the toxins, including the chemicals, are putting the body in an unbalanced state. You're basically defeating, or the chemicals and heavy metals are defeating the immune system. So if you clear the body of these, toxicants, the immune response to these opportunistic pathogens is much more enhanced and improved. So I've seen a lot of different conditions reversed. And again, in that video I mentioned in the very beginning, or close to the very beginning, I talk about all the, it's a good comprehensive list. Let's put it that way. I know there's more things that are on that list, but it's a comprehensive list of all the conditions that I could fit onto the page that are known to have an environmental toxicant association, or they can be linked to those. And these are conditions that have no known etiology or cause, and they're non-genetic and non-communicable. So mostly the diseases and conditions that conventional medicine can only mask with, symptom masking pharmaceuticals. So once you've detoxed the body, it's amazing what can be reversed. So I hope that answers the question.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Thanks for the question, by the way. Anybody else want to chime in?
Well, I can end on good news because, for everybody on the call, I'm a Lyme patient with really high metal content. And then out of the blue, in the past month, my blood pressure went up, and this week it's been incredibly low. I've been taking it every morning, and in fact, I've stopped all blood pressure medicine. So I'm at like 106 even, so I don't want to take anything to go even lower than that. So I don't know. I feel like all this sauna work and the niacin is really helping me out.
You know, the niacin flush is, if you're still getting one, is reducing the blood pressure all by itself, because once you get a lot more blood flowing out to the dermal regions, the blood pressure drops, the heart rate increases, and that's something that's good for Sheila, I think, to hear that, you know, the heart rate is going to increase, the blood pressure will reduce. It can feel like an irregular heartbeat or tachycardia, things like that. But as long as you're not having chest pain, then you know that it's just the niacin is doing its job. And this is usually when you're still getting a flush. The flush, by the way, will dissipate when you're doing a program like ours. So if you're doing the full detoxination, which I should get on record again saying that, you know, sauna detoxification using niacin is an umbrella term. The niacin flush sauna detox is one of the methods. Detoxination, the full 30-day protocol, is one of those. Also, the original Hubbard method is considered to be that. Dr. George Yu has a version. These are all sauna detoxification using niacin, so it's just an umbrella term. But if the full protocol, if you're doing the full protocol, the niacin flush will completely disappear after a while for most people. Some people actually are going to experience a flush throughout, but it's all about a hormone in the body called prostaglandin, or prostaglandin PGD2 to be more accurate. And that's the hormone that opens up the capillaries by relaxing the capillaries walls. It relaxes them, allows a lot more red blood cells to flow through. So after a while of chronic use of niacin, the body will deplete those prostaglandin hormones, and they won't regenerate fast enough. So the flush will go away. But in the very beginning, you'll experience a more intense flush for the few days that you're still getting one, but then it'll just kind of like wane and peter out. So
I've yet to get a flush. I'm at 1600 today, and I still haven't gotten one yet.
you will probably not get one then. It may have occurred early on. You weren't really noticing it, but at 1600 at this point, it's very doubtful that you're going to see one. But like I said, it's totally unpredictable. So, you know, you might.
It's funny because I've done the protocol twice now and getting ready to do a third time. And I really had no flush with any of them. But then all of a sudden in the middle, 3 weeks into the 4 weeks, all of a sudden I had just an incredible flush.
Wow.
And it's like, that's weird. but yeah, but I had taken niacin throughout my life earlier on. My mom took niacin and stuff and talked about it, for a long time. So I think my body may be more acclimated to it anyway. We always went off before we started the protocol so that we could reset. But yeah, it's interesting, and when you do get the flush, it's an interesting experience. But that's not one that's bothered me too much. I think the thing that's still the most amazing, though, is that after the second time through the protocol, each time we feel definitely better, improved. But right up to when we started titrating down the last time we did the protocol, we were still getting color stains and things on our towels. And so I know we've still got more stuff in us that we've got to get rid of. The thing that's, I don't know if you've experienced that yet, anybody else that's on the call, but when we first started, the towels, if you let them just dry naturally, they're just white towels. There's no big deal. But both my wife and I get different colors of stuff that comes out in the sebaceous sweat and actually stains the towel. You don't notice it when the towel's wet, but as it dries, the colors will come out. And it's fascinating, some of the different colors and stuff that's on those towels, but only when you're doing the protocol. We had our sauna for a long time before we ever did a protocol, and sat in the sauna for 60 minutes, and the towel was always just normal white. So
yeah, thanks for that. And in fact, you bring up a good point about after the towel's dry. What I would do is take a like when I had the center and I was working with patients, I'd take their towel over to the window where the sun was coming in. I just kind of wave it like this. If you can picture me holding it horizontally and getting a wave action going, that allows the sun light to really highlight any of the stains. And usually people will see, more of a tan color stain, and that's the evidence of the lipids from the sebaceous sweat. You may not see colors from the chemicals, but they're there. Not all chemicals or heavy metals have any kind of inherent color, but the ones that do are very exciting. And I think most of the people who are in this group or in this call have seen the meth cop towel that he was, excreting or the colorful chemicals from the manufacturing of meth because he was involved with over 180 meth lab raids as a detective. And so he was totally producing colorful towels. And in fact, we saved those in case he was going to file a work comp claim. But now he's retired, and so I still have the box of them somewhere around the house, but they're I think fading over time. But when they were originally made, if you will, produced, those stains were just absolutely incredible. The pictures do not do it justice. Anybody else want to chime in?
Hey, Dan, it's Catherine. I
Hi,
couldn't find
Catherine.
my unmute. So anyways, I didn't start yesterday. I'm starting today. So I'll
Okay.
have more things to talk about next week.
All right, that sounds good. Are you
Yeah.
with
So
are you with Mary
go
Jane?
ahead. No, Mary Jane didn't do well today, so she's
Oh,
sleeping. She's on her opposite schedule.
okay. Well, I'm glad you joined us. Thank you.
Yes. Enjoy your evening. Get some sleep.
Yeah, this 6:30 Pacific time show is the one that kills me. Next week is the one for the Central European time. So that one is, I think, 9:30. I have to go back and check because there's been time changes both in our country and theirs. So or at least in England, I don't know. But it's going to be, I think, either 9:30 or 10:30 in the morning. Those are much easier for me.
Under Understood.
Yeah, I do get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's interesting because I'm a one-man show here, and so I work in the business during the day, but work on the business in the morning when I get up. So, working on the marketing, the books, and email blasts and all that stuff, and then throughout the day, I'm working with clients or prospects. But anyway, so by this time, my energy levels are dropped.
Well, go enjoy your evening.
I think I will. It's been a half hour, and that's a pretty good show as far as these recorded ones go. And like I said, if you don't see this uploaded as a video, it's because Zoom did it to me again, and I got to figure out what the heck is going on with that. But the last show, I was trying to edit it, and whoever was the main speaker or whoever was talking was the only image you saw on the screen, and it got annoying as I was editing. I'm like, oh, this is not even worth it. So, but all right, anybody else want to chime in?
Mm-mm.
Okay, then
Good
we'll
night,
call.
everyone.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yes, you all very welcome. Thank you for joining me again, and I look forward to seeing whoever can join me next week. So have a good rest of your evenings and good night.
Night.
You again. Good night.
Good night.